This is Seoul. 10 million people. 70 years ago, this was rubble. Not as a figure of speech, rubble. This is how it got from there to here. June 1950, Korea went to war with itself. North Korean troops took Seoul in 4 days. September 1950, UN forces took it back. January 1951, it fell again. March 1951, taken back again. 4 times in 9 months. Each time, the fighting went street by street. More than 40% of the people had fled. What was left was not a damaged city. It was an empty one. The war stopped in 1953. It stopped without a peace treaty. The border closed and stayed closed. People who had come from the north could not go back. They stayed in Seoul. Then the government chose factories over farms. Grain prices were held down to feed the cities cheaply. Farming stopped paying for itself. So the countryside emptied into the capital. Seoul was adding a city every few years. This is what that looked like on paper. Nobody could build housing at that speed. So people built it themselves. On hillsides, on riverbanks, on land that belonged to someone else. In Korean, these were called muhaga, unpermitted. Not slums in the legal sense. Just houses no office had approved. By the late 1960s, they covered the slopes of central Seoul. The city decided to count them. That sounds simple. It was not. These were unregistered buildings on unmapped ground, put up by people who had arrived last year. But the government had 3 things. The mayor of Seoul was not elected. He was appointed. Local elections had been suspended since the 1961 coup. And administration reached every block. Every household belonged to a numbered unit. There was one more thing, and it arrived in 1968. In 1965, the government tried to issue an ID card to every citizen. It failed. People did not want to be cataloged. Then, in January 1968, North Korean commandos crossed the border and reached the center of Seoul. The objection disappeared. From November that year, every citizen was given a number. Remember January 1968. So, the count happened. 136,650 unpermitted buildings. The mayor's answer was to build upward, clear the hillside, put concrete blocks on the same slope. The families already there would move in. This photograph is from 1969. New apartments at the top, the houses they were meant to replace, below. Wahoo Apartments, Building 15, 5 floors. It collapsed. 33 people died, 19 were hurt. The building was 4 months old. The budget had been too small and the schedule too short. There was not enough steel in the columns. The mayor was removed from office. The second answer was distance. From 1969, families cleared out of Seoul were moved to Gwangju, outside the city limits. They were given a plot of land each. There was no water supply, no sewers, no work. They built tents and then shacks again. On the 10th of August, 1971, tens of thousands of residents took over the town. It was the first time the urban poor in Korea acted together against the government. Both answers had failed, and the north bank of the river was full. Remember January 1968. The same raid that made people accept an ID number also made land south of the river look safer. A bridge had been under construction since 1966. It opened in December 1969. A highway to Busan opened in July 1970. Both landed on the South Bank. The city moved south. 1978. This is that land today. Nobody planned it this way. Seoul tried twice to house its people where they already lived. Both times it failed. What you are looking at is what happened next.